Ooh, I've never seen this before. Not. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, here we have a Les Paul Studio. It's got the grainy finish on it. It's your typical Les Paul. What else can I say? Yes, sir, Bob. That looks like, yeah, that looks like glue to me, man. Although it looks like it broke on a sister grain line. Indications here as well. Yeah, not very much material there. Well, this is a second break. I'm not, as you know, we may know, I'm not a big fan of splines, but second time around, I'm much more inclined to use splines. So I think we might have a spline job here. Here we go. I'm going to pop off these tuners and pop off the truss rod cover. I like to keep my stuff in a zippy lock bag here. Now sometimes when you have a break like this, it looks on camera, it looks like it's just a matter of getting some glue in there and gluing up and clamping it. One thing that seems to happen with the fiber board laminate is that it shrinks a little bit and pulls everything forward towards the nut, and so you get a little lip there. So we're going to detach the going to pop the nut, and we're going to detach this to about here, and so we can get the little grains to match up perfectly, and then reglue it. Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of gluing area. That's going to allow me to get in there and clean that out a lot easier. Oh, hello. Save that. Clean out this glue. I'm finding the traditional clamping method for this joint is not working very well because it's such a sharp,
Yep.
the grain runs so much this way. If you put a clamp on it, it wants to slip out like that. So
Can you think you can get pressure this way?
I can probably get pressure that way, but also I don't think I think I'm going to go with marine epoxy as opposed to the tight bond.
You know what I sometimes do with brakes like that is I'll zip tie a dowel right here,
Yeah,
sticking out sideways, and then put a couple dowels through these tuner holes, and then use rubber bands to keep pressure that way.
yeah,
I've
okay.
had good luck with that.
Yeah, I might try that. And yeah, I think the epoxy will. I don't need as much pressure here with the epoxy because it's with epoxy. It's not about the pressure. It's about the physical bond.
Yeah, it's permeating it. But
Right.
yeah, I definitely use rubber bands on something like that.
Yeah. Come on. Okay, we'll go under. All right. I got the owl in the pig hole blues. Okay.
This was be cool.
Next, we're going to do spline.
Yeah.
All right. We'll put a little clamp and block here. We'll be good, I think. It works very well. Just need a little gentle downward pressure here. Try a different kind of clamp here. Where's that little guy? You get back in there. Okay. All the way home. And speaking of home, it's Friday. And I'm out of here. We'll see you on Monday. Okay. Happy Monday. See what we did. Oh, it looks good. Good. Freedom. That looks fantastic. Okay, I think we'll just use a little black super glue in there. It's stable. They actually make a black super glue. Yes, sirree. Best thing since sliced bread. Oops. Yeah, pretty tight. It won't take too much work to get that figured out. Okay, that's good for now. Yeah, it's feeling pretty solid. Alright, good morning everyone. Okay, so I am engineering on the fly here. A few weeks ago, we have a company here in town that makes drums. They make drum shells for all the big companies and the small ones too, and for, you know, one-time drum builders. And you know, they cut off the ends from their, this is from a drum shell, and just the scrappity scraps, and I thought it would make a nice medium in which to do my spline. A nice half-round biscuit type of spline in here, instead of a straight line or semi, you know, crooked. So I just cut up these scraps from the drum shell manufacture process, and I have my router base here. Now, the router base, actually I'm making another one, which this one was from a previous repair, the Thunderbird base that we did. You can look up the video if you want, but I decided it was, you know, needed a little more modification. So this is how it works. Here we have a hinge here. This clamps to the headstock like that, and you line it up with a center line here. See, it's all lined up like that, and the base is offset. You'll see is the center line of this piece of plastic, and this line is the offset, which goes through the center of this big hole here for the router bit. For that application, because the neck was so narrow, I needed to, you know, the splines are fairly close together on either side of the truss rod. Center line is where the truss rod's going to be. I'm making another one that's a little, one of these, it's a little bit wider. So that's where we're at, and we'll see how that works out. It basically just follows the contour of the radius there, and that'll be my pocket for my spline. So because it's offset, it's going to go on one side of the truss rod in this direction, and we simply turn it around this way, and now the cut will be on the opposite side of the truss rod, like that, because it's offset. See how rounded the outside edges, so it goes along this track a bit more smooth. It can't go either way, left or right, because it's a nice snug fit. So, yeah. Okay, and for this part of it, this is actually at an angle. I use my pneumatic sander from Harbor Freight, which is a wonderful thing to have for a guitar shop. It's around and keeps it pretty pretty solid centered on the neck if you use the right size sanding drum. So that's how that works. And now I am making a Lexan, a new piece of scrap of Lexan, various one-off template scrap here. I'm going to offset this so that the splines are a little further apart on either side of the truss rod. So I'm just taking the original one and adding a 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Okay, if I had to do it over again, I would probably move this down just a little bit more. I have a little mark here that I was lining up with the crack. And I also lowered, I put new pivots up in here to lower the whole thing down, so I wouldn't have to overextend the router bit in the chuck on the router. But I think that'll work pretty well. Yeah, well, concept seems to work. So let's bring it to the next stage. Yeah, I think that'll work. I think next time, I try this. I line that up with the marks I put there with the crack there, thinking that would be the deepest spot, but it actually extends a little bit more into the headstock than I would prefer. So I think next time, that'll work fine. That'll look good. But I'll probably pull it back about a 1/2 inch, a little bit from where the main crack is, and yeah. And the radius of this, in theory, could be even smaller. This comes from a drum shell I pulled out of a dumpster. But yeah, I think the proof of concept is working, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So we're going to go with the original. And get it all in there nice. Get everything coated here. Plenty of glue there. Get up on all the walls. Everything's maximum coverage. Okay, off if we start now. We just want what's in the slot. Don't want schmutz in there like paper towel. Okay. There we go. Everything in there. All right. I can always put another little clamp on the upper end there on the headstock. Good. There'll be a squeeze out there, that's good. Okay. Okay. Take away everything that doesn't look like a guitar. Now that's a knife. Okay, so final sanding here. I'm on 400 grit dry. And probably hit it with some 600 too. And then I think we can spray. And spray the front of this. And some spots here are uneven. So we'll hit that with some black. And we're going to tape it off. Don't forget to tape off your fret markers. Alrighty, let's go find some paint. Okay, I just mixed up a quick batch of nitrocellulose lacquer and just put a few drops in there, mixed it up good. Make sure you test spray a little bit to get any, get so the color is consistent. Just a quick little batch, not much. It's not going to take much. It's fairly dark, medium brown color tone. Okay, all right. Sprayed a couple of coats of matte finish on there, and yeah, that's pretty good. Decided to do the whole neck so it matches the body a little better. I might rough it up. I don't know. It looks pretty good. Yeah, you can see the splines, but they're, you know, they look like they belong there. Yeah. There we go. Front, yeah, it looks better. Not perfect. I'll look into that. I might wet sand that. I don't want to go through again, but I did spray it, give it a couple of coats. So, all right, there you are.
Yeah.